If you've ever worked night shifts at a hospital, you know the kind of exhaustion I'm talking about. Not just sleepy tired, the kind of exhaustion that makes your legs feel numb, your brain foggy, and your body scream for rest. That's exactly how I felt the night this happened. I just finished a 12-hour shift in the ER, long, grueling, filled with codes, paperwork, and barely a second to breathe. By the time I clocked out at 2:30 a.m., I wasn't thinking about anything except getting to my car and driving home. I had no idea I was walking straight into the most terrifying moment of my life. The hospital halls were eerily empty. At night, hospitals are a completely different world. Cold fluorescent lighting, distant beeping from patient monitors, the occasional murmur from a nurse station. I walked toward the staff elevator, dragging my bag behind me, when I saw him. A security guard standing right by the doors. Tall, average build, wearing a navy uniform with a hospital security patch on the sleeve. But something felt off. I couldn't place it at first. Maybe it was just the exhaustion. "You heading to the lot?" he asked, looking at me. "Yeah," I said. "Need some fresh air before I pass out driving." He smiled, but it was a little forced. "Actually, they're blocking off the main lot for maintenance. You'll need to take the side exit tonight." That's when my stomach tightened. I've worked at this hospital for 5 years. We don't do maintenance at 2:30 a.m. "Weird, I didn't hear about that," I said carefully. There was a brief hesitation, just for half a second. Then he nodded. "Yeah, it was last minute. Pipes or something." The way he said it, casual, like he'd run through it in his head already. I studied him. The uniform looked right, but not quite. The badge was too shiny, like something fresh out of a package. And then I realized, no radio. Every hospital security guard carries a radio strapped to their shoulder, but his uniform, completely clean, nothing clipped on. Something about that didn't sit right, but I was exhausted. My brain wasn't working at full capacity, and that's exactly why I made a mistake. I followed him. We took the side hallway leading toward the employee exit. The whole time, I felt like something was off. I shook my head, trying to push the thought away, but the hallway was too quiet. The hospital wasn't busy that night, but there were usually janitors, nurses, doctors coming in and out. Tonight, no one. I looked at my phone. 3% battery. That made me uneasy. I should have just turned around, but I didn't. Because when you work in healthcare, you're trained to trust authority. You don't question security, and that's what he was counting on. As soon as we stepped outside, I knew this was wrong. The air was cold, still. The side exit led to a small loading dock area only dimly lit by a flickering streetlight. There were no cars here, except for one, a dark gray van, parked just outside the loading dock. Engine running, back doors open, the kind of open that wasn't casual, the kind that was waiting for something, or someone. Every nerve in my body went tight. I stopped walking. I think I'll just go through the main lot," I said, turning slightly. His expression didn't change. "It's blocked," he said. "This is faster." I took a step back. So did he. I was about to run. Then, a voice behind me. "Hey, who are you talking to?" I turned, and my stomach flipped, because standing in the doorway was the real security guard. My head snapped back to the fake security guard, but he was already walking away, quick but controlled. Heading straight for the van, the doors slammed shut, and then they sped off. No hesitation, no questions, gone. I stood there, frozen, my heart pounding so hard I thought I was going to pass out. The real security guard walked up beside me, looking confused. Who the hell was that? I tried to answer, but my voice wouldn't come out. The police came. They took my statement. The hospital had no record of any security maintenance that night. No new hires, no one matching his description. We checked the security cameras. They caught me walking down the hallway. Beside me, there he was, clear as day on the security footage, walking just a few steps ahead of me, leading me toward that exit. The police took the footage, ran his face through their system. A few days later, they called me back. They found out who he was: a wanted criminal, long record, assault, kidnapping, human trafficking, but they never caught him. By the time they ran his name, he was already gone. No trace, no sightings, just vanished. I switched to the day shift after that. Didn't set foot outside alone at night again. But 2 months later, while driving home after a late shift, I saw it. That same gray van, parked on the shoulder of the freeway, engine off, empty, like it was waiting for someone else. I don't know if they ever found another target, but I think about that night every time I step outside alone. And I know that if I had taken just a few more steps toward that van, if the real security guard hadn't shown up when he did, I wouldn't be here to tell this story.